Long before the first humans set foot on the earth, long before the hills had names or faces stared back from ancient stones, the world was shaped by the Titans. Vast, primordial beings of unimaginable power whose spirits resonated with the heartbeat of the cosmos. Among them stood Cronus, his name a whisper of fear in the winds. He ruled the heavens, not because he was the strongest or the wisest, but by conquest. For he had overthrown his own father, the sky god Uranus, casting him down and claiming the crown for himself. But Cronus's victory was a double-edged sword, for a prophecy hung over him, heavy as a shroud, whispering that he too would be overthrown by one of his own children. This premonition, a sinister echo from the past, was a grim inheritance from his father, Uranus. It was said that if you tasted power through bloodshed, your children will taste your downfall. Now Cronus was a being of immense power, yet he was tormented by doubts. Did he have the right to rule? Could he ever hope for true peace in his domain? Fear coiled around his heart, tightening with each passing day. Then came the birth of his children, 5 in number: Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Each child was born with the weight of ages in their eyes, a reflection of their celestial lineage. But with each birth, the prophecy loomed closer, casting a long shadow over Cronus's reign. Driven by terror, he swallowed each child whole, thinking to snuff out the flame of fate. But he forgot, or perhaps never knew, that a prophecy woven into the fabric of existence cannot be undone. Meanwhile, on the island of Crete, hidden amidst mountains and seas, a new life stirred. The 6th child of Cronus and Rhea. His birth was concealed, veiled by mists, and watched over by the fates. For this child was destined to be more than just another Titan. He was meant to become Zeus, born into the folds of time. Zeus grew, hidden from the sight of Cronus, nurtured by the earth itself. His mother Rhea, the Tanus queen of the earth, could bear the prophecy no longer. She fled to the mountain caves of Crete, shielding her youngest son from his father's devouring hunger. There, beneath the watchful gaze of the mountain nymphs, Zeus was kept safe, cradled in the womb of the earth. But how could a mere babe hidden in a cave challenge a god who consumed his siblings without a second thought? It was a question that echoed in the minds of the elder gods. Rhea had placed Zeus in the care of the Curates, a band of valiant warriors sworn to protect the infant god. His cries were drowned out by the clash of shields and the beat of drums, creating a wall of sound that muffled his cries. The noise made by the Curates masked the sound of the babe, as the warriors' rhythmic movements lulled Zeus into slumber. And so Zeus grew hidden in the lap of the earth, shielded by the Curates, nourished by the magic of the land, untouched by the shadows of his father's domain. Yet Cronus, blinded by fear and driven by the whispers of fate, remained unaware of the growing threat in his domain. For Zeus's growth was not just physical, it was spiritual too. He absorbed the essence of the earth, the strength of the mountains, the speed of the winds, and the wisdom of the stars. He was nurtured by Amalthea, a magical goat with golden horns, whose milk bestowed immortality. The nymphs sang songs of courage and strength, weaving tales of heroism into his subconscious. And slowly, imperceptibly, Zeus grew, learning the ways of the cosmos, mastering the skills of survival, preparing for the day when he must claim his birthright. As Zeus grew in power, the imprisoned gods within Cronus started stirring. Ischia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. Each emerged from Cronus's stomach fully grown, bearing the marks of their ordeal, but also the steely resolve of those who had cheated death. Together with their newly freed siblings, they planned their revenge, forming an alliance that echoed the dawn of creation. And then there was Metis, the Titaness, cunning and wise, who had watched Zeus's upbringing with keen eyes. She sensed the coming storm, knowing that Zeus's rise would mean the end of Cronus's reign. So she offered her aid, becoming his advisor, teaching him the arts of strategy and warfare. Under her guidance, Zeus learned to wield the powers of persuasion, understanding that true power lay not just in brute force, but in the ability to unite and inspire others. Then came the moment of action. Guided by Metis, Zeus approached Cronus, not with a weapon, but with a chalice. Inside, hidden at the bottom, was a potion, its fumes irresistible, compelling one to reveal their deepest secrets. Once drunk, Cronus vomited forth his 5 swallowed children, each bearing the insignia of their birthright: Hestia, goddess of the hearth, her presence bringing warmth and light; Demeter, goddess of the harvest, her touch nurturing life and growth; Hera, goddess of family and marriage, her gaze unwavering in her pursuit of order; Hades, god of the underworld, his dominion bringing finality and peace; and Poseidon, god of the seas, his trident commanding the oceans with unmatched power. United, Zeus's siblings and their allies launched an attack against the Titans, shaking the foundations of Mount Olympus. The Titans were colossal, their bodies wreathed in storm clouds, their voices booming with thunder. But Zeus's army fought back, wielding lightning, commanding the winds, and summoning earthquakes to shatter the earth beneath their foes. The battle raged, lasting for years, until finally, the Olympians prevailed. The Titans were banished to the depths of Tartarus, their reign coming to a decisive end. With his allies victorious, Zeus ascended to the throne of his father, establishing his dominion on Mount Olympus. From there, he ruled, ensuring order throughout the cosmos, balancing the scales of justice, and shaping the destinies of gods and mortals alike. His was a heavy burden, a constant struggle to maintain the delicate equilibrium of the universe. But Zeus was equal to the task. His wisdom, his strength, his unwavering commitment to justice became the cornerstone of the divine order. He became the king of the gods, but more importantly, he became the bringer of justice. In his hands, lightning crackled, not just as a symbol of his power, but as a tool of judgment, punishing wrongdoers and reminding mortals of the consequences of their actions. His word was law, his gaze piercing, seeing through deceit and falsehood. His ears were open to the prayers of mortals, and his heart, though often distant, could be moved by their plight. He intervened in human affairs, sometimes as a punisher, sometimes as a protector, always maintaining the balance between the divine and the mortal. Zeus's influence extended beyond his godly duties. His love affairs were legendary. His heart wrote